Bhagavatam Asatar Sata Sri Srimad Bhagavatam Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Swami Vishnu Pad Pramapsa Pavajakacharya Asatar Sata Sri Srimad Jiva Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Natakotan Vaishnavana Ki Jai. Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Namesake Ho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaurabhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Krishna Shri Jai. Ki Jai. Ki Jai. Ki Jai. Shri Shri Gaurabhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Go Premanand. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. National commentary on the Vedanta Sutra given by Srila Vyasadeva. Canto 2, Chapter 2, text number 20. Nabhyam Stitam Si Gotcha. Sunday, the Mon-Fri, Satyala Nivam Shankana Gita, Nabhyam Sitam Vajyanivapyasta Smad, Dhanakatya. Nabhyam Sitam Vajyanivapyasta Smad, Dhanakatya Rasi Tanli. Sandaya Diyamas Satalin Shanakanta Stitam Vidya Europyatasmad Dharmagat Yorasitam Nayin Muni Stonisandaya Diyamarasi Satamulam Shanakarnayeta
Nabhyang stitang hridyaderopyatasmat Udanagatyurasitang nayen munahi Tato nusandaya diyamanasvi Satalunulang shanakarnayeta
Navyam shtitam hriday adropya tasmad Udana gatyo rasitam nayin munahi Tato nasundaya diyamanasvi Swatalu mulam sanakirnayita Abhyam stitam hridyarapyatasmad Udanagatyo rasitam nayin munahi Tato nusandhaya diyamanasvi Swatalu mulam shanakarniyata Navyam stitam hridyadirupyatasmad Udanagatyorasitam nayin munihi Tato nusandhaya diyamanasvi Svatalumulam shanakarnayeta Nabhyam stitam hridyadirupyatasmad Udanagatyo rasitam nayen munihi Tato nusandaya diyamanasvi Swatalumulam shanakarnayeta
Navyam stitam hridyadirupyatasmad Udanagatyo rasitam nayen munihi Tato nisandhaya diyamanasvi Svatalumulam shanakarnayeta
Navyam stitam hridyadirupyatasmad Udanagatyo rasitam Srimad Swatalam Nabhyam stitham hidrapya tasmad Udanakatyo rasitam nayen munihi Tato nasandaya diyamanasvi Swatalumulam Shankar Nayeta.
Anakanait Nabhyam Sitam Hridyadirupitatasmad Udanagatoya Gatyorasitan Nayanmuni Atonusandaya Dihamanasvi Swatalumulam Shanakanaita
Chest. Search out. Search. Chest. Search out the proper places with intelligence. Report. There are 6 circles for the movement of the life air. An intelligent bhakti yogi should search out the places with intelligence and in a meditative mode. One of these, Vishnu Bhav, is the Swadhisthana chakra, or the powerhouse of life air. And above this, just below the abdomen navel, there is the Manipuraka chakra. The upper space is further searched out in the heart. It is called the Anahata chakra. And further up, and it is placed at the root of the palate. It is called the Vishuddhi chakra. So Srimad Bhagavatam is so nice that there's something in it for everyone. And this is the statement of Sukadeva Goswami in response to the question of Maharaj Pariksit. Maharaj Parikit's question was, what is the duty of an intelligent man who is on the threshold of death? This question is very John Shishi Gurnatam. Occasion, everything's finished. Srila Prabhu went to Moscow. Srila Prabhu introduced the concept of reincarnation. Dr. Professor Kotowski said, as soon as everything's finished. So this instruction so I got to future. It's not that everything is finished just because this body is finished. This body is constantly changing. I've had so many bodies. Strictly follow the instructions of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, it was defective. But it's like a combination of Bhakti Yoga and Kriya Yoga and Hatha Yoga and Pranayama. There's a lot of kirtan. There's japa meditation. There's a way of chanting different mantras, not the Hare Krishna mantra specifically. But this Hare Krishna movement is authorized. There's a long chain of pure devotees, disciplic succession going back to Lord Brahma, from Lord Brahma to Lord Narayan, from Lord Narayan to Krishna, the supreme absolute truth personality of Godhead. And the practice of Kundalini Yoga was very, very difficult. Like when we were rising at 4 a.m., I was living in the brahmacharis in a barn with no electricity. There's no hot water. Every morning we were taking cold shower after cold shower and brushing teeth. There was a practice of pranayama and hatha yoga outdoors, and it was sometimes cool. But since the process is not strictly according to the previous acharyas, there's no tangible result other than improved health. Most of us experienced that we felt healthier, and many of the members were former hippies, and they thought that the present life was a big improvement over the past life, but it was very difficult. There's a lot of fasting. Some days we would eat only melons, nothing else but melons. Some days nothing at all. Some days we would practice word fast. No talking for days on end. So this cessation of speech is better than talking nonsense. So in one sense, it's better than a previous life, but there's no positive activity like there is in Krishna consciousness. In Krishna consciousness, we offer Krishna foodstuffs every day, and this foodstuff is our only means of nourishment. And in this way, we invoke the mercy of Sri Sri Gaur Nitai. And it's practical activity. But the yogis are averse to serving the Lord personally, so they take up this difficult path, even though it's very difficult and austere still. There's no ultimate reward in this so-called yoga system in its age of Kali. It's not able to perform it correctly nowadays. And in the 19th century, Bhaktivinoda Thakur became the magistrate in Jagannath Puri, and while he was there, the district magistrate was also in charge of the temple of Lord Jagannath. And at that time, he got news that there was a bogus yogi who claimed to be Mahavishnu, and this bogus yogi was exploiting young girls in the state of Orissa. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur decided to investigate this so-called incarnation of Mahavishnu, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur went to the village where this bogus man was staying, and he addressed him, "My dear sir, you're a famous yogi, but you're staying in this small village. You should come to Jagannath Puri." And this yogi whose name was Pashikishena. Pashikishena said, in Jagannath Puri, there is Lord Jagannath, who is made of wood, but I am the original Vishnu. I'm the real Vishnu, whereas Jagannath is simply wood. And when Bhaktivinoda Thakur heard this, he became furious, he became enraged. And he ordered his constables to arrest this culprit. And this bogus yogi, Pashikashena, told Bhaktivinoda Thakur, listen, I can make you the king of India. I could give you so much power. Don't bother me. But nevertheless, this yogi was soon put in prison. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said his hair should be cut off because the power of the yogis is in the hair and beard. So he tried to find a barber who would cut off this yogi's hair, but no barber would agree to do it because they were afraid of being cursed by this yogi's power. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur took a pair of scissors and personally went to the prison and cut off this yogi's hair. And soon afterwards, this yogi lost his mystic powers, and afterwards, somehow he took poison and died in prison. But before this, to get revenge, this yogi cursed Bhaktivinoda Thakur and cursed Bhaktivinoda Thakur's family and cursed the constables. And all these people who were harassing this yogi became afflicted with high fever, 105 degrees. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur's wife said, stop persecuting this person. He's Mahavishnu. He can hurt all of us. But she said, apparently she was also fooled by this mystic powers. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, let us all die, but this rascal must be punished. So apparently this yogi was trying to kill Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his family and the constables, but the most he could do is give him this high fever. So at the time of death, the body has a high fever of 107 degrees. And when the soul leaves the body, immediately the body becomes cold as ice. So there are so many things at the time of death. And this human form of life is to prepare and to try to think of Narayan or Krishna at the time of death. So in the meantime, we have to very seriously practice this process of bhakti yoga, and it can be joyfully performed. One that doesn't have to perform bhakti yoga in a pessimistic spirit. It's joyfully performed because one understands I'm not this body, and changing this body is no big deal. Donovan Maharaj, do you have comments? Any comments or questions? Yes. Jagannath Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So I liked what you were saying about, well, I don't know if I liked it, but you were saying something about how you would be silent for days on end at the Kundalini farm, and you were also saying that silence is better than speaking nonsense. So I'm wondering if that's true. Then what do we do when we're preaching and there's like a lull in the conversation? I feel like there's an expectation for us to know. Well, I think there is an expectation for us to know a lot, but being new, I don't really know so much. So how can we keep scripture on our mind when because I know that's the way to actually preach better, is to have scripture. So thank you.
One of the most effective ways of preaching is distributing Prabhupada's books. I'm not a very effective preacher, but Prabhupada is. And Prabhupada's books can change someone's life, because he has the book knowledge combined with the realization. He realizes his eternal relationship with God, Krishna. So his preaching is very effective. And just by going out in dhoti and kurta and shaved head and tilak, someone could see, here's a devotee of Krishna, and the ladies are going out with saris. So they could see that these people are devotees of Krishna, and just by seeing them, they make spiritual advancement. And by hearing the further purified, and if they could take some Krishna prasadam, nice foodstuffs that have been offered to Shishi Gauranatai, that they make further advancement. Lord Chaitanya preached chanting, dancing, and eating Krishna prasadam. And for those inclined, like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he discussed philosophy, but generally he didn't engage in philosophical discussions with the common people. Magadari Prabhu.
Sunday's a great day for preaching. And sometimes we're talking with somebody, and sometimes I experience maybe the opposite. I have too much philosophy to tell them. Bouncing off this idea that the philosophical, discussions were not really for the common man. Is it okay we just ask them about their lives and get to know them on a personal, material level?
First, we have to be fixed in our eternal relationship with Krishna, and if we love Krishna, we'll automatically love all Krishna's parts and parcels, and the people in general will pick up on that you become their ever well-wisher. And in the Bible, when Jesus was preaching in Jerusalem, Jesus said, "I have many things to say, but you are not fit to hear it," because Jesus was preaching to a lower class of people. So Jesus' teachings were mainly sub-religious principles. Do not kill, do not steal, do not commit adultery, so on. Thank you all for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. It's time for the Sankirtan Festival. All glories to A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhu.
So we'll read the scores for the pleasure of the assembled devotees. Srila Prabhupada, the Sampradaya Acharyas, Tulsi Maharani, and Sri Sri Gauranitai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,